I still remember the way the fairy lights twinkled above us like stars that had fallen just for our special day, the soft music, the scent of fresh roses, and his hand holding mine so gently as we danced our first dance as husband and wife. My heart felt so full that night. I, Emma, had finally found my forever. Or at least, that's what I believed. We had been together for 3 beautiful years. Daniel was everything I had dreamed of. Kind, ambitious, and so attentive. He remembered every little thing. My favorite flowers, the way I took my coffee, and how I loved quiet evenings curled up with a book. Our wedding was perfect. The vows we exchanged felt like promises written in stone. I will love and cherish you always, he had said, looking straight into my eyes. I believed him with every piece of my soul. As the guests left, and we finally retreated to our beautiful honeymoon suite, my hands were trembling with excitement. The room was breathtaking, rose petals scattered across the king-sized bed, champagne chilling in a silver bucket, and soft candlelight dancing on the walls. I changed into the delicate white lace nightgown I had carefully chosen for this moment. This was supposed to be the beginning of our life together. The first night of our marriage. I walked out of the bathroom smiling, ready to fall into his arms. But Daniel was standing by the window, staring at his phone with a strange look on his face. When he saw me, he quickly slipped the phone into his pocket and forced a smile. "You look beautiful," he said, but his voice, it didn't sound right. There was something distant in his eyes. We sat on the edge of the bed, and for a few minutes everything felt magical again. He kissed me softly, but then his phone buzzed. Once, twice. He ignored it at first. But the third time he stood up. "I just need to check something real quick, babe." "Work, emergency." On our wedding night, I nodded, trying to be understanding. But as he stepped into the balcony, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling in my chest. Something was wrong. I had never been the suspicious type, but tonight, something felt off. I walked closer to the glass door, not meaning to eavesdrop, but the words I heard next shattered my entire world. "Yeah, I know. I miss you too. I'll make it up to you soon. She doesn't suspect anything. Just give me this one night." My heart stopped. The room started spinning. I stepped back, my legs weak, tears already burning in my eyes. The man I had just married, the one who promised me forever only hours ago, was talking to another woman. On our wedding night, I stood there frozen, feeling like someone had ripped my heart out of my chest. Every happy memory we shared suddenly felt like a cruel lie. How long had this been going on? Who was she? Why would he do this to me, to us? When Daniel came back inside, he saw my face and immediately knew. The guilt flashed across his eyes for just a second before he tried to cover it. "Emma, it's not what you think," he started, reaching for me. "Don't touch me," I whispered, my voice breaking. The pain was so deep, so raw, that I could barely breathe. I demanded the truth, and after some hesitation, it all came pouring out. Her name was Sophia. They had been seeing each other for almost a year. Even while he was proposing to me, planning our wedding, promising me the world, he was with her. He said he loved me, that she was just a mistake, that he would end it. But how could I believe anything he said anymore? The man I loved had betrayed me in the worst possible way. On the very night that was supposed to be the most romantic of our lives, I cried until there were no tears left. I felt broken, humiliated, and completely destroyed. All those months of planning, all the love I had poured into this relationship, it felt like it had meant nothing to him. I locked myself in the bathroom and sat on the cold floor, trying to understand how my fairy tale had turned into a nightmare so quickly. The next morning, I told him I needed space. He left the suite, promising to make things right. But as I sat alone in that beautiful room that now felt like a prison, something inside me began to shift. The pain was still there, crushing me. But slowly it started mixing with another feeling. Anger. A quiet, burning anger. I wasn't going to just cry and let him destroy me. I deserved better. I had given him my whole heart, my trust, my future, and he had thrown it all away. For the first time since hearing that phone call, I felt a small spark of strength returning. I wasn't going to be the victim in this story, not anymore. I started thinking, really thinking. Daniel was a rising executive at a prestigious company. His image, his reputation, his perfect family man persona, those were everything to him. And I knew exactly where his weaknesses were. I had access to our shared laptop, our joint accounts, and months of messages he thought I would never see. The more I discovered, the clearer it became. The secret trips, the late nights, the money he had been sending her. It wasn't just one mistake. It was a whole double life. My heartbreak slowly turned into determination. He had chosen to break me on our wedding night. Now, I would choose how this story ended. 2 weeks later, I had everything ready. Daniel thought I was still devastated, still hoping we could work things out. He had no idea I had been quietly gathering every piece of evidence, screenshots, bank transfers, hotel bookings, even voice recordings I had carefully saved. I invited him to what he thought was a private reconciliation dinner at the same hotel where we had our wedding reception. He arrived looking hopeful, probably thinking I had forgiven him. But when he walked into the private room, he didn't find just me waiting. He found his boss, his parents, his closest friends, and Sophia, who I had also contacted with the truth. The look on his face when he realized what was happening was something I will never forget. Pure shock. I stood up calmly, my voice steady, even though my heart was racing. I played the recordings. I showed the messages. I laid out every lie, every betrayal, every moment he chose her over me. The room was completely silent except for my voice and the sound of his world crumbling. His boss looked disappointed. His mother had tears in her eyes. And Sophia? She looked at him with the same pain I had felt. Daniel tried to speak, to explain, but there was nothing left to say. Everything was exposed. In the days that followed, the consequences hit him hard. His reputation took a massive hit. The promotion he had been working toward was gone. Friends distanced themselves. His family was heartbroken. The perfect image he had spent years building was destroyed, just like he had destroyed my trust on our wedding night. I didn't do it to destroy him completely. I did it to reclaim my power, to show him that actions have consequences, and to finally close this painful chapter. Today, I'm healing. It hasn't been easy. Some nights I still cry thinking about the future I lost. But I'm also stronger. I learned that love should never cost you your dignity. I learned that betrayal doesn't define you. How you rise after it does. If you're watching this and going through heartbreak, please know this. Your pain is real, but your power is greater. Don't stay broken for someone who never deserved you. Take back your story. The best revenge isn't hate. It's becoming the woman who shines even brighter after the darkness. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched you, please like, comment, and share. Remember, your heart is precious. Protect it, and never be afraid to choose yourself.